Hello everyone, my name is Akshay Agarwal and today I'm going to discuss about the new pattern SET or the Symbiosis Entrance Test for BBA. Okay, so we are going to discuss Symbiosis SET General 2.0. Okay, now this is the entrance test we generally give for the BBA courses, right? So what's the change? So first of all, today we'll quickly discuss the new test structure. Then we'll discuss, what have been the cutoffs and what is actually a good score in each section. And then we'll decide what kind of a strategy that we'll have. What would be the strategy for the test and what would be our plan. Alright, so these are the basic things that we're going to discuss in today's video. So let us see what actually has happened and what is the update on SET 2.0. So as per the update that we've got yesterday, the SET 2.0 has been in light of COVID-19, the test has been reduced to 90 questions. So earlier it used to be 150 minutes, 150 questions. Now it is only a 90-minute MCQ test and it will have 90 questions across 4 sections. So the ratio of the questions in the section remain the same. It is just that it has been reduced from 150 questions to 90 questions. And there is a new section, the verbal ability test, which has been introduced. So this will go on for 30 minutes. So this would be a 30-minute test which will be evaluated only if you are shortlisted after the MCQ test. So we'll discuss all of this today. However, one more differentiating factor that we have seen in this exam, apart from all the home proctor tests, is that you are allowed to use a plain pen and a pencil and paper for rough work. So this is one important instruction that you need to take care. This is not allowed in other exams like NPAT or IIM Rohtak IP MAT. Alright, so this is one advantage that you get in SET, that you can use sheets for rough work. Alright, so yeah, we have 90 minutes, so 120 minutes has been split as 90 minutes for MCQ and 30 minutes for written ability test. We'll discuss both of these sections separately in the further sections. So yeah, what is the new structure? What is the change? You had the same 4 sections till for SET 2019, 2018 or 2017. Alright, the split was 40, 40, 40 and 30. But now the number of questions has been reduced to 24, 24, 24 and 18. So if you go to see, that's actually 60%. So earlier you had 150 questions, 150 marks. Now you have 90 questions, 90 marks. Alright, so questions are 90 and your marks are also 90. Alright, so this is one major change that has happened. Alright, and the test would be home proctored. So just like most of the other exams, BBA entrance tests that are happening these days, this test would also be a home proctored test. And yes, you'll have a 30-minute written ability test which would be evaluated only if you are shortlisted. Okay, so this is not graded for your shortlisting. Only these 90 questions, the 90 marks and the 90 minutes, the first 90 minutes would be used for shortlisting. Okay, and after the shortlist, this would be used in the second stage. Okay, so this would be used for the second stage of your interview, of your selection process, that is the interview and VAT process. We'll discuss this as well later. Alright, so now how should we change our strategy towards the test and what should be our approach, how many marks should we target, is something that we'll look forward to. So we'll go about it section wise. But before we go section wise, let us see first what was the cutoff score in the previous SET exams. So in 2006, the cutoff for getting a interview call was 81 out of 150. In 2017, it was 91 out of 150. In 2018, it was 85 out of 150. And in 2019, it was 87 out of 150. This is unverified, so most probably 87, but I cannot guarantee that. But yeah, this is close to 87 was what the call was what the marks were to get an interview call. Now, how much would that be out of 90 in 2020 is what we have to evaluate. Okay, so let's go about it. Let's have a section wise approach to this, and let's see in the end how much should we target. All right, so going forward, let's look at the first section, that is English. So English used to be, so I've just extrapolated. What I see is that the total 40 questions have been reduced to 24 questions. So I am assuming each section or each kind of question would also become roughly 60%. So in English, you have the first section, that is, first of all, English has been very straightforward. English in SET is generally very straightforward. Okay, so this generally is very straightforward, doesn't give you many surprises as traditionally as it has been. Straightforward and on the easier side of easy to moderate. Okay, so somewhere close to easier. Okay, so easier side of easy to moderate. And you have 8 questions on reading comprehension. So generally there are 4 questions in one set, and there are 2 such sets. So I am expecting that this could be 5 to 6, where you could have 2 sets of 3 questions each. 3 questions into 2 sets could be something that you could see over here. Similarly, it's strongly dominated by vocabulary questions. So last year there were around 18 questions on vocabulary. So vocabulary here, and even the vocabulary based questions on proverbs and phrases. These used to account for 18 questions. Roughly this would still be the major section or the major area which could be tested. 4 questions here, fill in the blanks another 4, and another couple of questions from phrases and proverbs. So roughly you could expect 10 questions from vocabulary based questions, a few questions on grammar, around 8 to, like till last year you used to have 10 questions based on grammar year and year. So this could reduce to maybe 5 or 6, and you could have the remaining questions on critical reasoning and para-jumbles. Overall, the level of difficulty of vocabulary based questions apart from proverbs has been easy, and even the grammar based questions have been easy, on the easier side. Critical reasoning has been slightly easy to moderate, para-jumbles are easy to moderate, and the only other area which is easy to moderate is vocabulary. So I believe this is more on the easier side, and you can expect if we just see, like in the 40 questions, a 32 to 34 used to be a good attempt, and at least a 28 would be a good score in this section in the earlier format. So now if I just look at it, if this reduces to 24 questions, I believe 19 to 20 would be a good attempt in this question, in this section, sorry. It should be a good attempt, to solve 19 to 20 questions in this section. And I'd say basically out of these 19 to 20 questions, I believe that 16 to 18 should be the minimum number that you should be looking to make correct. Okay, so roughly on an average I'll take that as 17. So 17 is a score that you should target in this section if the difficulty levels are similar, and you can expect to give so how much time do we have? We have 90 minutes, right? And usme se this would be 24, so roughly you can say 1/4. So if it's one fourth out of the 90 minutes, I would give 20 to 22 minutes over here to this section. Roughly, I would simply give, since we have 1 minute per question and we have 24 questions here, what I'd suggest is that you can uh, afford to give, and you should be able to basically do this section in the first 24 minutes. 24 questions and 24 minutes, and roughly you will be scoring around 17 marks here. Okay, then coming to the second section, which is quantitative aptitude. Quantitative aptitude has been strongly dominated by arithmetic traditionally over here, but it also has other sections, but majority of the questions are from arithmetic. Arithmetic has a strong domination here, and it has again been easy to moderate, but it's not, so easy as compared to the verbal section. So it's easy to moderate. There are easy questions, there are moderate questions, and there's a good mix of easy to moderate questions. Okay, again, 32 to 34 is considered to be a good attempt out of the 40 questions, and 26 plus was analyzed as a good attempt in the previous paper. So what will happen in this time, in this attempt, or in this year's exam? First of all, before we go to that, let's quickly see what all are the different areas, questions from different areas. So if you see time and work, if you see 7 plus 4 11 plus 2 13 14 15 and 16, out of the 40 questions, almost 16 questions were from arithmetic. Okay, then you had questions on mensuration, one odd question from geometry, permutations, combinations, probability, set theory. So the next big section is, which I see, is modern maths. Okay, so this is one area that can be covered. So permutation, combination, probability and set theory together constitute for another 8 questions. And then there were linear equation and quadratic equation based questions, so 4 to 5 to 6 questions over there. 2 sets of 3 questions each, so 3 into 2, 6 questions on data interpretation. Data sufficiency is a different type of questions, that, and some numbers and numerical ability based questions. Okay, so basically arithmetic is the first biggest section. The second big section is modern math, and after that you can have some questions from algebra, that is linear and quadratic equations. Third, and data interpretation are the 4 important areas in quantitative aptitude section. So you need to have a good hold over those subjects, especially arithmetic, to do well in this exam. An ideal score of 26 plus is considered to be a good score here. So if you reduce it to 60% of the paper, if you reduce it to 60% of the paper, you can roughly expect out of 24, again an attempt of 19 to 20 over here, and you can expect a score of 16 to 17 to be a good score. 16 to 17 to be a good score. Let us take on an average, say 16 to be a good score in this section. Okay, and how much time? So since it's not so not so easy, it has easy to moderate questions, I would suggest around about 24 to 25 minutes over here in this section as well. Sometimes could go to 30 minutes as well, so I would say 25 to 30 minutes, okay, for the quant section, right? Then moving on to the next section. Okay, and if you just see how important the sections are in the expected paper, you'll have roughly 4 2 3 6 7 8 9, roughly 9 to 10 questions from arithmetic out of your 24 questions. Okay, and also for example, you had only one question from mensuration, one question from geometry. Now it could be possible that this question could vanish, because to have one question from each topic would become difficult when your number of questions have been reduced to 24. So it could be possible that this could reduce to in fact a 1 question or maybe a 0 also. Okay, whereas your modern math would again hold some weightage. You'll have 4 to 5 questions on modern math, 4 to 5 questions, and equations. I'm expecting you could have a single set of data interpretation of 4 questions instead of having 2 sets. Maybe data sufficiency and number numerical ability could get could disappear, or if you could have 1 or 2 questions from any one of these areas. Okay, so most important remains arithmetic and modern maths, okay, for SET, right? So the expected score that we are targeting over here should be 16 to 17, and we should be able to do that in 25 to 30 minutes. All right, then moving on to the next section of reasoning. Now reasoning has a good mix of both analytical reasoning and logical reasoning. Okay, what do we have in analytical reasoning? We had arrangements and puzzles based questions, blood relations, coding, decoding, set theory, number puzzles, alphabet series, visual reasoning, clocks and calendars. Okay, so all of these together accounted. So first of all, this is a smaller section as compared to the other sections. So roughly the analytical reasoning, you can, if you just total this is the AR section, which is approximately 70% of the total reasoning, and your verbal reasoning is close to 30% of your reasoning section. And even in the reasoning section, in your verbal reasoning, I'm not written it over here, the analogies and the syllogisms are comparatively easy, whereas the cause and effect and course of action have been found to be slightly confusing, and these are slightly easy to moderate difficulty questions because of the confusion that students have in the concepts. Okay, so if you have conceptual clarity in this section, that should also not be a problem. But again, slight confusion always exists in while you're trying to answer these questions in an examination. So these are easy to moderate. Okay, and you have 9 questions on verbal reasoning. So again, I'm expecting you could have a similar mix in the new pattern as well, and your number of questions would more or less be in the same proportion. So you could have around about, out of the 18 questions, first of all the 30 questions reduces to 18, and if you look at 70% of that, that would account to around about 12 to 13 questions of AR, and your 5 to 6 questions of verbal reasoning, VR. Okay, 5 to 6 questions. VR would be 5 to 6 questions. Again, you can expect the analytical reasoning, although I've mentioned it as easy to moderate, but if you give it sufficient time, these are questions which can easily be cracked, and this is one of the most scoring questions if you look at it from the proportion point of view or the percentage point of view. So even if you look at the last year's paper, out of the 30, 27 to 28 was considered to be a good attempt, and out of that 25 was supposed to be a good score, which is almost 83%. So out of the 30 questions, 25 is a good score, 24, 25. So 83% is something which was supposed to be good in this section. So I believe this would still remain similar in the upcoming paper, and out of the 18, we would say around about 16 to 17 would be a good attempt, and out of which 15 would be a good score. Okay, and yeah, these questions could take time, but they'll definitely fetch you marks. These sometimes, for example, arrangement and puzzles, it could take up 7 to 8 of minutes of your time to solve the 5 questions on arrangements. But if you give it a sufficient time, these are questions which can be solved and which can fetch you marks. So although this is a 18-mark question, I believe giving it 1/4, because it's one of the 4 sections, giving it 1/4 of the time would be a good strategy. So out of the 90 minutes, it would be wise if you give it around about 22 to 24 minutes, or you could say around 25 minutes also. You could give this section 25 minutes also. Okay, then moving forward, so this would be around 22 to 25 minutes, Okay, but this would fetch you 15 marks. So that's what your conversion has been. If you look at the previous sections, you were wasting 25 to 30 minutes and you were getting around 16 marks. You were giving in the verbal section, you will give 24 to 25 minutes and you will again get 17 marks. So this is again in the similar line, on the similar lines, but your conversion is rate is very high over here. You're solving almost all the questions. All right, and then the last section is general knowledge. General knowledge has two sections. So general knowledge in SET 2019 had again almost 70%, more than 60 two-third of of the entire paper of the entire GK. Two-third was static and one-third was current affairs. Roughly two-third to say 70% was static. Okay, so I'll just write it 70-30. It could be 66 and 33 also, whatever, but close to this. So your majority is static. What are the areas covered? So you have Indian history and culture. There were questions based on dance forms and where did they originate. General science based questions, important dates and events. There were questions based where you were given a photograph of I believe Nirmala Sitaraman, and you had to identify the person. You were given logos of companies, like companies and organizations, like WWF logo was one of the logos which was there in the examination. Questions based on economics and authors and sports are questions which are based on static. And in the current affairs, the major questions were based on sports, politics and government schemes, Nobel Prize, National Film Awards. This is not the Filmfare Awards, this is the National Film Awards and other prizes, and important personalities and appointments of the recent times. So these were questions based on current affairs. As per the analysis from the previous year's papers, what the general analysis that has come out is this is not a high scoring section. For example, it's not as scoring as you would have in the quant or the verbal section. But again, this is one of the areas which acts like a decider. So you, most of you, if you would see, there's very, there's, I say, yeah, in logic now you don't have a lot of buffer over here. You can't go more than 15, or maybe you'll go 16 at max. You'll go all correct 18, but you don't have a lot of scope over here. But in GK there are 40 questions, and generally if you look at others attempts by other people, you'll realize that they consider 30 itself to be a very good attempt. 30 plus is considered to be a very good attempt in this exam by the general populace, general candidates, like all the candidates who who are preparing for the exam. Most of them have not prepared for GK, so that's why this section is considered to be low scoring. But this is somewhere, this is an area by putting in some efforts you can gain a lot. So after all the other exams are done, I would suggest give some time to general knowledge and current affairs as well, because this could give you good benefits, okay, over your investment. So 40 30 plus, but and anywhere around 20 to 25 would be a good score over here. Okay, so I would suggest you should target 60%. I would suggest 24 out of 40 would be a good attempt. Okay, and if the paper reduces to 24 marks, ideally I would believe that a good attempt would be around 16 to 18 questions. Okay, or basically let's keep it at 18 plus. You can attempt 18 plus questions, and out of those 18 or 18 more than 18 questions that you attempt, you should be able to score around 14 to 15. So I'd say I'll round it up to 14. You could get anything between 13 to 15 16 marks over here. And basically this is the area where you'll be saving most of your time. So to attempt these 18 to 20 questions, I believe that you should not be taking more than 10 minutes. 10 minutes is the time that you should be giving to this section. Okay, so summing it up, if I just summarize all the 4 sections together, and let's see what would be the good attempt. So basically in English we'll say an attempt of 20 to ठीक है, an attempt of 20 would be a good one, and उसमें से we are expecting a score of you can say 18 or 17 suppose, right? Let's not go to 90% accuracy, right? So we'll basically want a score of 17 from the verbal section. Yeah, and we said we'll give it out of the 90 minutes that we have, 30 minutes 120 minutes and 30 minutes are going here, so we have in all 90 minutes. So out of the 90 minutes I would suggest you give I don't know, around 1/4 of the total time that you have. So 1/4 of the total time comes out to be 90 divided by 4, roughly 22.5 to 23 minutes over here. Okay. Coming to quantitative aptitude, again an attempt of 20 to 21 would be a good attempt over here, 20 to 21, and you'll again expect to score around 16 to 17 marks over here. So let us say 16, okay, 16 to 17, 17 to 18, all right, and again you'll be giving around 25 to 27 minutes over here. So roughly you're giving 23 minutes over here. Let's make it 27 minutes, okay, because it involves a lot of solving, so you'll take up that much time. Then general knowledge. So general knowledge, I believe 18 would be a good attempt, out of which you'd be expected to score 14 plus, okay, 14 15, 14 to 15 marks, and 10 minutes should be sufficient over here, okay. And reasoning, out of the reasoning that you have 18 questions, I would expect a student to attempt at least 16 questions. So out of the 18, 16 to 17 is what I expect you to attempt, and you should be able to score 15 marks over here. So 14 to 15 would be something that I would see over here, and this would take me around 25 minutes, another 25 minutes here. So if I just add them up, how much does it come out to be? 17 plus 16, 33, 33, 14, 47, 47 and 14. 47 and 14 would be 61 marks. And 18 plus 17, 35, 35 plus 30, 65. So what we are seeing over here is a score range of 61 to 65 would be a very good range. And this, I believe, should be sufficient. This, I believe, should be sufficient to get you a interview call, because if you've seen historically, we've always advised students to target 100 out of 150. The target for SET used to be 100 out of 150 to get an interview call. 100 would actually be 2/3. So I see that out of the 90 marks, this is the 2/3 mark. So basically getting a 61 to 65 would be a good score over here, and this would actually guarantee you a interview call for BBA at your Pune and Noida campuses. I would actually say the cutoff would be around somewhere between 56 to 60, but we won't take that risk. We won't target 56 marks or 57 marks. We'll target this much, and I believe somewhere 1 or 2 marks even below this range could be sufficient, but we'll psychologically set our target at 61 to 65. If you get anything above 65, that's just awesome, that's amazing, okay. Just a couple of tips over here for your sections. So for example, English is a section where if you know a question in vocabulary, you know it. So avoid wasting time on vocabulary based questions. If you're not able to get the logic, or if you're not able to get the meaning of the word, you shouldn't be spending 2 minutes on a single question. So that is one thing that you can look upon and basically not waste time on. In quantitative aptitude, again, there would be some questions. For example, if there's a question in TSD, there is a moderately difficult question, or maybe in a percentages there is a difficult question. There are 5 questions, out of which one question is difficult, okay. In percentages, say there is one difficult question, so you don't need to beat your head and take it on your ego that you have to solve that question. You have some buffer, you have some buffer. You, out of the 24 questions, you're only expected to get 16 to 17 marks over here. So you can leave a question and move ahead. Similarly, likewise in logic, suppose you're not able to understand whether you're confused between two options, course of cause and effect. You feel that this is the cause and this is the effect, or one logic says cause and effect, the other one says no. So if you are confused in the exam, you don't need to waste too much of a time on one question. Always keep on looking at the time left in the examination. There'll always be time left, and from that you need to keep a track on how much time you're giving to a question. That said, also some questions in analytical reasoning like number puzzles or alphabet number series could be tricky, and sometimes it takes time for you to think about the logic. So if you find one or two such questions where you're not able to solve and get the answer to, don't take it on your ego. Just leave the question and move ahead. We have limited time and we have a target score in mind. We have to get that target score and move ahead. All right. And likewise in general knowledge. Now general knowledge is something, if you know, you know, you don't know, you don't know, right? So you can't waste too much of time. In fact, in general knowledge would be the area where you're actually saving time. You're trying to get 14 to 15 marks in 10 minutes. Okay. If you just add these timings, 23 plus 27 is 50 minutes, 50 plus 10, 60, 60 plus 25, 85. So this comes out to 85 minutes, which means I have 5 minutes for buffer. These 5 minutes are the 5 minutes which at the end, if I feel that I still had 2 minutes or 2 questions in quant which I could have tried, on which maybe you for example, there were 2 questions, there was a question on TSG which you wanted to give time to but couldn't give time, or couldn't waste time on. So you can use these 5 minutes at the end to solve questions where you feel you could get the answer within these 5 minutes, and add a couple of more marks and get to your expected total or a good total score. All right. So this said, this was about what your SET test was, and after that, how are you judged for admission? So SET test has a 50% weightage in your admission process. Okay, so it's not just about getting a call. This would ensure an interview call. Okay, this would ensure that you get an interview call. But the next 30 minutes that you have, will be evaluated only if you get this score and you are shortlisted for the interview process. If you're shortlisted for the interview process, you will have a written ability test evaluated only for call getters. Okay, and this would have a good 20 to 30% weightage in your admission process. I believe it would be around 20 to 25%. So don't take it lightly. This is also an important component in your admission process. Plus the other important thing was, don't just think that you restrict yourself to a cutoff score. Try to maximize your score, because this has a overall weightage in your admission process. Okay, so 50% is for your MCQ test. Okay, around about 20 to 25% would be over here, and around 25 to 30% would be for the personal interview process. So we'll take care of this. You also have a session for the written ability test separately, which will take care of how to plan, what should be your thought process while you're trying to write a written ability test, what should be your rough structure and all those kind of things. So there will be a separate session for the written ability test. The PI would happen in June. So we'll look at it after students start getting call, and we'll start arranging mock PIs. So this would also be taken care of. So going forward, I would suggest don't worry, and just make a list of the topics which are not covered in the other exams. Like for example, P&C. P&C is not there in NPAT, but it is there in SET. So if you've not prepared P&C for NPAT, you'll have to give a couple of days for P&C, probability. Okay, you have one odd question from geometry. So if you have time and if you can go through the theorems of geometry, that would also be something which would help. Okay, because you have simple questions from geometry. So theorems from circle, theorems from triangles, all those things could be seen once. Okay, so yeah, just stick to your basics, keep solving, and I think you should be good to sail through the SCT test. All right, and yeah, so that's all from my end. If you have any queries, you can reach out to me on the Telegram, or you can even call me on my number. All right, and yes, uh, you know if you feel anything that's troubling you, you can just let me know, and we'll do whatever we can do best. All right, so don't worry and keep working. Everything will be great. All the best and thank you. Bye bye.